Hi everybody, it's Sally here from Junk Journal Creative Swaps in Oz, and I'm coming today to show you one of our Christmas swaps for December. And as you can see, I've got two examples here. These are Christmas folios, and as you see, they are like little journals really, but they're made in a really clever way, and I thought I would share with you how it's made so that you have the tutorial to be able to join in with our swap for this month, for the December month. Now, this isn't my idea. I was fortunate enough to find this on YouTube, and I think it's called, the lady's called Lyric Lovers Craft or something like that. I'll link the YouTube channel in the comments below so you can watch hers as well. But I thought what I'm going to do, I'm not going to show you everything that I did with these particular folios. I'm not going to show you how I decorated them because you can do that yourself. You can get some ideas from looking at mine and how I did mine. I'm just going to show you how it's actually constructed and put together. So I'll show you this one first. This is the first one I made. So on the front it's just a picture. I need to stick that down. It's just a little collage of different things. I've got die cuts and stars and all that sort of thing. I've added some trim and some lace, and it opens up like this. So it's like a normal sort of journal, but the more you look at it, the different it is, because then it opens this way as well. And inside this one, there are 3 cards that I've made, like this, just with journaling cards and bits and pieces I've had around my craft room. And then I've added 3 envelopes, and I've made them all a different colour just for a bit more fun. And then so this page actually closes again, and then we have this one here, opens like this. It's just one page, and I've just added a peg, Christmas peg, and I've added some tags. So really this folio is to give maybe as a gift, with lots of supplies for making Christmas items. So as you can see, I've got a belly band here with some die cuts I've put behind for the person to use, and again I've made some tags for them to use as well. Over on the other side, under the other side of the peg, I've put some stickers for the person to use as they choose. And then there's another page here which is a pocket, and in the pocket is a huge tag, again for the person to be able to use for their Christmas items. And I just used my bits of paper that I had left over and collaged it and added a few bits and bobs. It's a really good way to get to use up some of your pieces that you're not quite sure what you're going to do with it, because you can use really small pieces on when you do collage, as you know. And then this just flips over like this. Then I have another page here, and on this page I've just added some journaling cards, and on the back of this page I've got a pocket, and I've just added some these are just from Christmas cards, some images for the person if they wanted to make their own Christmas cards or create a page or use them as tags, whatever that person might like to do. And then on the back here, oh dear, I need to fix this up. Sometimes it gets a bit it moves around a bit, but that's supposed to be stuck there. I'll have to get a bit more glue. And then here, these are more little sort of cards as well that they could use for their presents. Just simple cards, and they have little envelopes that go with them. I found these at an op shop, so made use of those in the journal. And again, we open up again. We have more pockets this side, 3 more cards that I've made, and again 3 more envelopes. So it's really like a Christmas supply for the person to use and keep things in as they go through making things for Christmas. So there's that one, and then this one is exactly the same, just with different papers and different die cuts. I've put the gift cards at the front here, and more cards here. I don't need to show you everything. Another peg with some more tags. Over here, more stickers, and another large tag that I've collaged. I've added a few little couple of bells here, although they don't seem to make a noise, but that's okay, it's all in the Christmas theme. And more journaling cards on this page, another pocket, more cards, fronts, die cuts this end this time, and more cards at the back. So as you can see, it's quite a useful thing to have on hand as you go through the Christmas period, so that you know where all your bits and pieces are that you need. So I was going to show you just how to put this sort of thing together. So I'll just move those out the way, and I will give you what you need, give you the ingredients list. So just a second, I'll just find all my lists. All right, so firstly, I'm just going to sit down now. Firstly, what you need are 2 pieces of 12 by 12. Now, I've run out of my bright Christmas paper, so I'm now using this paper instead. So I'm doing all blues this time. So here's my 2 pieces of 12 by 12. It's preferable if they're double-sided, because these are going to be, if I show you again, these are going to be this part, the pocket part. So as you can see, you're going to be folding up. So if you only have one-sided paper, you're going to see a lot of white. So if you can get double-sided paper, that would be great. So that's my 2 pieces of 12 by 12. You also need 1 piece of 8 by 12, and the 8 by 12 piece is the middle part, this page here that's holding the stickers and the journaling cards and the pocket. And then you need 1 piece that's 8 by 8. Now this piece, I didn't have any more double-sided paper, but it doesn't need to be double-sided paper, it can just be single, because this is the part where you're going to fold. I'll show you again on the example. You're going to fold it in half and you're going to have a pocket for your tag, okay? So it doesn't need to be double-sided, that particular piece. So these are the pieces I'm using. I'm just going to rub my measurement out on here because we don't need that there now. Okay, so here we go. This is how we construct it. So I'm going to get my scoring pad out, and I'm going to take my first piece of 12 by 12. Now at this stage, you need to decide which piece you would want to have on display at the front. Now with the one I did, on this one and this one actually, I tried to choose one that wasn't too busy, because even though most of it's going to be covered by your decoration, it's much easier to decorate if you don't have such a busy fronted folio. So I've decided to use this piece as my front piece, and what you're going to do with this piece and the other piece, but we'll start with this piece, is you're going to score it. Now mine's directional, so I need to be mindful of that too. I want it obviously up this way, so I'm going to score it firstly at 6, right the way down the middle. Okay, it's definitely, yes, I had to cut it down, so I just want to be sure it was definitely 12, exactly 12. So there we are down the middle, and then I'm going to score it turning it this way, because my pocket is going to be folded up that way, and then you're going to score at 4. Okay, and then what happens is obviously you fold it in half, making sure all the edges meet correctly, and then burnish, and then you take the bottom part and fold it up to form a pocket. Now as you can see, my reindeers and my trees are going to be upside down, but that's okay, I don't mind that, as long as they're not upside down on the front, that's all good. And then I'm just going to fold it. You'll probably find when you try to close it, it's a bit jumpy. So I'm just fold it again, and I just go over it again, just to be sure that they're all lying flat. Once you get things inside, of course, it's all going to go flat. That's the front part. We're going to do exactly the same with the other piece of 12 by 12. Now, mine's sort of directional this time. I probably will put it this way, because I've got, like, I think they look like a bit wood-like. So I'm going to put it up this way. And again, I'm going to score it at 6. Okay, like so. Turning again and scoring at 4. so, folding down the middle, and this is making the back page and the pocket. So, and then burnishing again and folding up your pocket. Like so. And again, we're going to close it and probably have a bit of a jump. Just make sure they're together. This one doesn't seem to be quite right. Not sure what happened there. Maybe that wasn't 12 by 12 to start with. I'm sure I measured them all correctly. But anyway, we'll make it work. We're going to beat it into submission. So there we go. There's my front part and there's my back pocket. So it will open like this and close like this. Okay? Just like that. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to take our piece of 12 by 8 and we're going to just score this at, this one's got a couple of scores actually. So the 12 is obviously going across and the 8's the height. So we're going to score this at 5.5, like so. 5.5, 6, and 6.5. Okay, got mine up the right way again. Just make sure I've got that correct, like that. Now with this one, we're going to make a W shape. So you need to decide when you've got your book together, if you want this piece on, if I show you with this one, if you want this piece showing this side or the other side. I mean, it does show both, but when you're turning pages, you might, you might want to have it a different way. You might want to have this paper first and that paper second. It's completely up to you. I'm not really worried about that. So what we're going to do, we're going to score it right the way down the middle. So make sure you've got the middle score, like so. And then we're going to fold this one back on itself, like so, and the other one back on itself. So you should have, if you've done it correctly, which hopefully I have, you should have a W like this. So because I've done it this way, it means that mine's going to be like this. And I'm going to have that in the middle. Okay, so it will all become clear in a minute when we start sticking together. And then the last piece, the 8 by 8, you're going to score this one right the way down the middle at 4, because this makes the tag pocket. Okay, and you're folding it in the middle like so. Okay, all pretty easy so far. Now we're going to put them all together to make the folio. I'll just get my score pad away. Oh, wait a minute. I've needed one more piece, which I didn't have ready, to be honest with you. The spine. The spine to hold it all together is 2 inches by 8 inches. So I need to cut a piece because sorry, I didn't have that ready. And I'm not going to use the white-sided paper because that actually isn't very thick. I'm going to use this piece and I'm going to have this as my spine, because when I've got these two pieces together, the front and the back, like this, I would like to have this on the outside, not this. I would like it to be a bit different. So I'm just going to cut my 2 by 8. We'll get that one. Thought I had one cut. I wasn't prepared for that. All right, so we're going to cut 2 inches. Like so. Get rid of that piece. And then we're going to cut 8. Now I need to mark that with my ruler because this cutting tool doesn't have, see what happens, I get to inches here and then it just converts to centimeters, so it's a little confusing. So I'm just going to measure it here as 8. Let me find my pencil. And then, wait a minute, let's get that straight along there. 8. And I'll use my other cutter. Everything's looking a bit weathered because I've been making so many of the Christmas items this year. So then again, we're going to need our scoreboard, and we're going to score this piece from, we're going to have the 2" at the top, like so, and we're going to score this at 1/2 inch, like all the way down. This is a little tricky, but I'm sure we'll be fine. That's 1/2 inch and 1 inch, so every 1/2 inch really. 1 inch and 1.5, and this is going to form the spine. Okay, there we go. So we've got 3 score lines. Let's put this away. And this one we're going to do like a concertina, so I want it that way. I'm going to fold that, that, and that. Okay, so we have a W shape again. And so this part's on the outside. So the part that you want the valley being on the outside, and you want the mountain on the inside, okay? So taking our spine and our first piece, our front piece, we're going to now put glue, if you can see, down here, and we're going to glue this part onto our spine, like so. Okay, so I'm going to do that now. The first thing actually I might do is just stick this pocket down. It just makes it a bit easier than trying to stick it down when it's on the spine. And then I'm going to add glue all the way down here. You don't need an awful lot, but you know, obviously you need enough to hold it stuck, because once it's all put together, it's layered, and so it helps to hold everything together that way. All right, so then this goes on here like so. Edge goes all the way to the crease if you can, and then we're just going to run it along there and make sure it's all stuck. Okay, just hold it for a minute. And that's the first piece. Then of course you need to come along here and glue the other pocket. Like so. I've got my tissue here to get rid of excess. Just make sure it's stuck. Now, what you will probably find once we've got the other pocket on, we may need to trim this down just a little bit, okay? Now we're going to take our other pocket and we're going to glue down this side, form the bottom pocket, and stick that one down too, as best you can. And then you again put glue on this flap. My glue doesn't seem to want to come out very freely, like so. And then we're going to put this part on that flap. Okay. Just get my tissue again. Oh, now I've moved it. It's good though, because if you do need to move it at the last minute, the glue does allow that. All right, so that's all stuck down. And again, to form my last pocket, I'll stick this side down. Okay, pinching that, and then we fold that in, and there we go. So we have our 2 flaps that fold out like this, and we have our 4 pockets. Okay, so as I said before, And just shut that like that. This is your front page. It opens, and this is your back page. It's because I've got my pockets not quite, well, they are folding quite well, but I might need to trim them a little bit. Okay, so that's that part. Now what we're going to do, we're going to take the 8 by 12. I'm going to open up everything. I'm hoping you can see all this. And I'm going to take the 8 by 12, and you're going to stick this valley on top of this mountain, like so. Okay, so I'm going to put glue all the way inside here on both sides. If it will come out, I don't know what's going on. It usually flows quite well. Never mind. And I'm going to stick mine on just like that on the top, making sure it's all matching up, pinching, helping it to stick, making sure it's all level. And that's my second page. As you can see, it will fold like this, and this will fold like this. Okay, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to stick our pocket on. Now at this stage you might want to decide with your tag pocket, like I did on mine. You find it. I actually made a little tab wedge thing here, so it's easier to get it in and out, which I will probably do later, but you can do that now if you think that you'll find that easier. So what we're going to do this time, we're going to put glue on here. I found it easier to do it this way and put it actually on the tag and the other side. Okay, and then I'm going to stick that over the top. Again, making sure it's all lining up. Holding it, helping it to get stuck. See, I've got a bit low there. I need to come up a bit. There we go. If you find it easier, you can do one side first and then the other side. Maybe I should have done it that way, but this is what I've done with all the others and I haven't had a problem. Just bring that down again and you just stick it. And then of course you need to put glue at the bottom so the tag doesn't fall out. All right, so I'm going to do that now. Just a little bead of glue along here. And stick that like so, and get my getting covered in glue a bit. Okay, might have to put that down and help it to stick. Okay, and there's my pocket. So that is the basic construction of this folio. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to test that everything closes neatly and see if I need to trim anything. This one's actually doing quite well, but I'm thinking I might just, this pocket closes fine, but this one I think I might trim a little bit off, maybe. But you know, you can decide what you want to do. I'm actually going to leave it because it's actually worked quite well this time. You might need to trim a tiny bit off this one or a tiny bit off this one just so it closes properly. And then all you do then is you obviously decorate the way you want to. You don't have to do it the way I did. I put belly bands on mine. You don't have to do that. You could just have the pockets and have the cards in. The cards are just basic card size. I covered them with coordinating paper and just a journal card on the top, matted, just to make it simple and easy because I've been mass producing these. And then I did the same with my tags. I've added tabs for the person to find the pages easier. I've used a peg to hold my things together. You don't have to do that. You can use whatever you want. You don't have to even have tags or stickers. You can think of what else you might like to do. The big tag is quite easy to make, and I'll just give you the measurements for it. My tag, this particular one, is about 7 3/4 by 3, just under 3.5. But of course, you know, it's quite easy to measure the pocket and decide how big the tag needs to be, decorating it the way you want. I like to have things hanging over the top of my albums and journals. I think it looks very interesting. Again, you don't have to do what I've done with this either, making the pockets pretty simple too. So I added belly bands, I added a pocket. In the other video that you might want to watch, that was the original video, she doesn't add any of that, but I wanted to load mine up for the recipient to be able to have extra places to put things. So it's completely up to you what you do. So I really enjoyed making these. They're so easy to make, and it uses up quite a lot of bits and pieces as well. And then it's so nice to be able to give them as a gift once you've done that. And I just thought that they were a really lovely thing to do this time of year. But of course, you don't have to do them for Christmas. You can do them for Easter. You can do them as a birthday gift and put birthday note cards in and other different ephemera that people can use to make birthday items. So there's many ways and different themes you can use. Christmas ones I think are quite special though. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you come over to Junk Journal Creative Swaps in Oz and join in with some of our swaps. The only thing you need to do when you join is to answer 3 questions and respond to a message from me. And we always are welcome with open arm new members, and we have about 5 or 6 swaps a month, which caters to all sorts of levels of skill, and we're all at different levels, so we all appreciate everybody's work. Come January, we're starting an Alice in Wonderland journal with lots of different swaps and pages, and also we have our generic ones going at the same time. So please come over and check us out. We're a Facebook group, and are always welcoming new members. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this YouTube. Take care, everybody. Bye now.